Hello guys, welcome back to the Brutal Investor channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. So in this episode, we're going to talk about reserve rights. So if you guys are not familiar with this token, it it has been a very popular token in the DeFi space, especially with people who use Ethereum and who are actively involved in the DeFi space. They're very well aware of this token. So what is reserve or reserve rights, right? So reserve rights is one of the two tokens of the reserve protocol. The reserve rights is a token that is volatile, and it's a speculative token which changes in price based on the demand and supply, whereas the other token called reserve is a stable coin on the reserve network, right? So if you want to know more about reserve and reserve rights and what they do and what are the use cases and selling features of reserve rights and reserve protocol, you can go to reserve.org to find out all the information that pertains to you, right? So what is reserve, what is this protocol all about, right? So reserve is a flexible pool of stable coins designed to reduce risk through diversification and decentralized governance, right? So if you see here, if you see the picture, you can clearly see that there are several stable coins whose values are pegged to $1, right? So you have USD Tether, USDC coin, Gemini USD, which is the stable coin issued by the Gemini exchange, BUSD, which is the Binance issued stable coin, DAI, which is a decentralized stable coin backed by a crypto collateral, specifically ERC20 tokens collateral, and True USD, which is also another stable coin. So you have so many different stable coins, and when people use stable coins, they are not aware of a very key risk factor that's associated with every stable coin, right? So when you hold stable coins, you are assuming that you're owning something which is worth $1 all the time, right? So that is because of the fact that the project or the token itself promises that it it maintains the US dollar peg either by backing collateral in real world or by backing one of the tokens with each one of the token with all the US dollar that is in circulation is backing all the tokens that are in circulation, or in a decentralized manner such as DAI token, for example. You are using crypto collateral as a means to issue the stablecoin, right? So there are multiple ways by which a stablecoin can maintain its peg, but the problem is the stablecoin that you hold may lose its peg, and that's a risk factor that most stablecoin holders don't know, right? Why am I saying that? So basically, due to supply and demand and due to several factors due to several factors that involves the entire cryptocurrency market overall, people move out from stable coins and move into stable coins way more frequently, right? Although all the stable coins are usually stable, where in the events of large scale volatility and people doing large volumes of trading, the stable coin very slightly loses its peg from $1 to either 99 cents or 97 cents. But you wouldn't usually see something going below 97 cents or above $1 and 2 cents or something like that, right? But there is a risk, innate risk associated with each stablecoin, and when you hold one specific stablecoin, the risk is amplified extremely, right? But what Reserve aims to do is it uses one of its token called Reserve token, and that token is basically a basket of all the stable coins, right? So by doing that, you even if one particular token loses its peg, the other tokens will retain the peg by several other means and will continue to be a safe opportunity for people to use DeFi or the cryptocurrency space, right? So that is something that that's one of the main selling points for Reserve protocol, right? So it's basically a flexible pool of stablecoins designed to reduce risk through diversification, obviously, and decentralized governance. So despite all the different stablecoins that are in existence, only a handful of these tokens are decentralized, right? Let's say, for example, in this picture, you can clearly see USDC, GUSD, True USD, Binance USD, and DAI, right? Among these, DAI would be the most decentralized because it is not backed by any company or an entity or whatever. And you can see the other tokens are, some of them are way more centralized. Some of them are, centralized to a moderate level. But you can see that since there is so much of, different varieties of stable coins, with some being centralized, some being non-centralized, all this, different, pool of stable coins. When you have a basket of all of these stable coins, and you use it in a decentralized manner, and you use decentralized governance to, manage them and maintain them, that is what Reserve protocol aims to do, right? So if I haven't made myself clear with that point, I would I will try to summarize the protocol itself by the end of this video so that you guys can understand. To everyday users, Reserve is just an app for buying, holding, and spending digital US dollars, right? So that's pretty straightforward. So if you are a casual user who doesn't understand anything, all you need to understand basically is Reserve is just an app that currently it's just a Google Play app that's available on Google Play, and you can basically download that app and use it for buying, holding, and spending any form of digital US dollars, right? So that's pretty much the introduction for it. They have a very nice video on their website. If you want to see what they're trying to say and what the selling feature is in a visual way, right? So protect your money. Reserve enables people and businesses in countries with high inflation to protect their money by moving it out of broken currencies into a stable digital currency. So again, if you are in countries where the government manipulates currencies way more frequently, and and there are countries where the inflation rates are much more higher than the typical average inflation rates in and around the world. You would probably find Reserve protocol as one of the most go-to protocols for because of its pool of stable coins that is being managed in the protocol, and it's all governed in a decentralized manner, right? So the management of the pool of stable coins is done fully in a decentralized manner, which will prevent your money from being manipulated by any central entities, right? So that's a cool selling feature. And if you see send money across borders, Reserve makes it cost effective to send money across borders. This enables people to send money home to their families, and businesses to pay international suppliers in a stable currency. So again, by using the Reserve stable coin, you are basically getting all the benefits of sending money, which is stable. There's no volatility involved in that. It's cost effective because it's fully decentralized and digital. So you can use it for sending money to your family, your friends, or even if you're starting a business, you can use it to purchase goods and services. So it's basically the same US dollar that you currently have, except that it's fully digital, and it's fully decentralized, right? So you are still retaining the benefits of using fiat currency, but now it's all going to be under one protocol called Reserve, which is going to be decentralized, right? Easily accept payments. Reserve allows businesses to accept payments in a stable digital currency, enabling them to easily pay their international suppliers while also keeping their money out of inflation-prone local currency, right? So again, the main problem that encompasses most of the cryptocurrencies currently, and that prevents most of the cryptocurrencies from being used as a reliable payment solution, is the fact that most of the cryptocurrencies are highly volatile, right? If you see Bitcoin, Bitcoin itself is it was developed as a alternative payment system to the current centralized system that exists, right? But the problem is, at the time being, you cannot use bitcoins in a reliable way. And although there are places that accept bitcoins for goods and services, people use bitcoin as a means of digital gold or something to store their value, right? And if you ask any common folk about using bitcoin to pay, if they don't know anything about Bitcoin, they'll firstly be afraid to use it because they think that it's highly volatile and they could lose their money, right? For a person who understands Bitcoin, they may or may not be happy with using their Bitcoin. Firstly, because they know that Bitcoin is super rare, and by using it, they're basically spending something which is very rare to buy a commodity which they can basically buy with their US dollars, right? Or any of their fiat currencies, right? So these are several factors that prevents Bitcoin from being used on a daily basis for buying a coffee or for getting a movie ticket or something like that, right? And the innate volatility of Bitcoin is a classic example, and it's also common for any other volatile crypto assets such as Ethereum, Litecoin, even Dogecoin, for example, right? So Reserve solves the problem because it does have a two coin ecosystem where one coin is a stable coin, and that stable coin is backed by a pool of stable coins, and this is all done in a decentralized manner. So you can obviously send reserve with the confidence that if when you send $1 worth of reserve, the receiver would obviously get $1 worth of reserve. There won't be any volatility that prevents them from getting their $1 worth of reserve token, right? So that's something that reserve offers, and you can use it as a simple and convenient digital payment solution, which although currently not in use by many vendors, in the future people will definitely understand the value of reserve protocol and the reserve stablecoin, and will definitely be slowly adopting this cryptocurrency in day-to-day lives, right? So that's something that reserve offers. Again, they have multiple explanatory videos if you guys feel like you still don't understand the protocol, or if you don't understand how the mechanisms of this protocol works. They have really informative videos on their website which explains what the protocol is and how it works and all that, right? You can also read through Reserve's white paper if you want to understand more about what their project is and their roadmap and so on and so forth, right? So learn how the reserve will achieve stability. Eventually, although not at launch, our protocol will back reserve with a diversified pool of assets in a decentralized way. This is not light reading. You are looking for a basic explanation. Read our overview of the protocol. So you can read through the white paper to understand what they're basically aiming to do, right? So you can also see that they have a very skilled and talented group of members who are working for this protocol and who created this protocol. If you want to if you're a kind of person who wants to do in-depth research on the people who created a protocol, then you have their pictures and I believe that they have their LinkedIn accounts linked, so you can read through all the founders and developers' personal bio and their professional information from their LinkedIn profile. If you want to see who has invested in Reserve, you also have a section called Investors where they talk about people who have invested in this protocol, right? So again, there's been a long outstanding discussion that that has been existing so far, which mentions Reserve being listed, potentially being listed on Coinbase. Coinbase did, last year, I believe, on September or October, at sometime in that period, they did announce that they were, looking to add new cryptocurrencies to Coinbase. And in the screenshot of the list of tokens that they were considering, reserve rights was obviously was one of the tokens that was potentially in a consideration. And it's also highly likely that Coinbase will list reserve rights, because if you see from the investors page, Coinbase Ventures has invested in this protocol, and that's something which is pretty cool. Coinbase is a digital cryptocurrency exchange headquartered in San Francisco and originally incubated by Y Combinator. Coinbase Ventures is an early stage venture fund focused on investing in blockchain related companies, right? So as a for-profit company. Coinbase obviously has, obviously likes the project, and they have done their due diligence to research the team behind it and all the legal implications that may happen with all the stable coins that are being issued in the reserve protocol, right? So despite that, Coinbase has invested in this company, which seems to indicate that Reserve is obviously a strong protocol, which has convinced Coinbase to invest in this protocol. And in order to obviously make a mark on Coinbase and the US users who are using Coinbase, I believe that Coinbase will potentially list this token on their exchanges, right? Both Coinbase Pro and the Coinbase exchange that is used everywhere else. So that's a high possibility. You can also see that they are also supported by multiple other big venture capitals. Arrington Capital is a very big venture capital which has invested in several other high quality projects which were listed on Binance and on Coinbase. You can also see Refactor Capital is also, it's not a well known venture capital, but it's also a venture capital that has invested in a few cryptocurrency based projects. So you can clearly see the list of venture capitals who have invested in Reserve Protocol, and you can also see the core team and some of the meetings that they have provided. So what next, right? Cryptocurrency started as a technical discussion on a mailing list, grew into a small movement, attracted hoarders of speculators, and then splintered into a zillion useless imitations of itself. We believe it's destined to consolidate and eventually give way to a battle for power on the global stage. We foresee uncomfortable disruption, a real threat of catastrophe, and a real promise of increased prosperity. Let us try to explain why. So if you see, they have made their case and point very clear. They have they're saying the same information multiple different ways because they know that it's a complicated thing to understand for multiple retail investors. So they have done their best to not only say it through videos but also in writing, and they've also provided multiple links that helps to understand their project and protocol. So if you guys want to read through the entire article, you can go to their website and do the same, right? So you also have other information that would probably be interesting to read. So let's go back to the coin market cap page for Reserve Rights. So Reserve Rights is the volatile cryptocurrency RSR, which is basically a speculative cryptocurrency. It's currently ranked at 85th by market cap on coin market cap, and it recently had an 8.65% decline in the past 24 hours. It's currently trading at 4 cents per coin, which is for an inexperienced retail investor, when they see tokens which are less than $1 value, they are more likely to invest in those tokens, right? So based on that alone, I believe that this token has an attractive price point for any inexperienced retail investors, right? So if you see, the market cap is quite big. If you see, it's in the mid market cap range, about $383,000 in market cap as of the time of making this video. The market cap has slightly declined to 6.99% in the past 24 hours. It has a maximum supply of 100 billion tokens, and its current circulating supply is 9.3 billion tokens, right, which is 9% of the supply. So you may be wondering why am I really confident in this protocol when the max supply is 100 billion, or it's pretty high, and the possibility of this token being inflated is also pretty high because there's only 9% of the tokens in circulation, right? So if you take me, although that is the case, I always go with the fundamentals. The max supply is obviously not an attractive feature for Reserve Rights, which is totally understandable. But if you go to the website and read through their information and see what they're trying to address, I believe that there is a high possibility that this token is not only going to outperform many other mid cap tokens in by the end of this bull run, but this token also has a high chance of reaching close to $1 per coin. Although it is high hopium, I would probably encourage you guys to read through their documents, because they have so much information that once you have completed reading through them, you would probably be convinced, as I am, about the potential price prediction for this particular token, right? And combined with the potential Coinbase listing this year, this token is definitely on track to reach one of the big blue chip one of the blue chip DeFi tokens on the Ethereum blockchain by the end of this bull run, right? So again, I believe that there is so much fundamentals that backs this project, that the max supply and the current circulating supply is something that can be overlooked. Again, you are free to come to your own judgment. Again, this video is not financial advice, but if I were to look at this token without looking at its fundamental, look at its tokenomics without looking at its fundamental, I would probably not be interested in this token. But since I did my research, since there is a chance that this token can be listed on Coinbase, since Coinbase has a very long and slow process of listing tokens, I don't think this token would be listed on Coinbase anytime soon. But again, I could be wrong, because this has been on the works for more than 6 months right now. There is a chance that Coinbase may list this token even in the very next month, or probably in the very next week, right? So there's a high possibility. And due to so many strong fundamentals, I believe that this token has a lot of room to grow, right? So if you look at the charts, again, you can clearly see that this token has been performing really well since the beginning of this year. It was it was completely down, and it was completely flat since May of 2019, and it only started picking up some steam during the DeFi craze of last year, and it reached an all-time high at that time of 2 cents or 2.8 cents, close to 3 cents. But then it dipped down pretty quickly, and then it's since then been going up in a pretty steep pretty steep angle, and there is still a lot of room to grow, especially with the potential Coinbase listing coming in. There is a high chance that this token will easily cross 10 to 15 cents per token pretty soon, right? Again, if you take the long run, this token does have a lot of room to grow. And if you see the price point, many inexperienced retail buyers are the reason why we had the 2017 bull run, right? Because once retail investors start seeing that the prices of all cryptocurrencies are rising, they're going to look at coin market cap, and they're going to look at the top 10 cryptocurrencies and be like, oh my gosh, these are too expensive cryptocurrencies, right? And when they come across reserve, they're going to see that reserve is only like less than 50 cents per token, right? So they're going to put their money in, and that is going to drive the price of this token higher and higher, and that's going to lead to this massive explosion of this token, right? So yeah, again, if I were to look into the Bitcoin comparative, you can clearly see that the prices are low. Although it's not at its all-time lows, it's still at its relative lows. I don't think this token will go below 1 cent, or 2 cents in the upcoming future. It will definitely not go below 1 cent, and it's also not going to go below 3 or 4 cents as well. I believe that this token is starting to get traction, and since we are in the mini alt season right now, there is a chance that this token can definitely pump, right? If you have some spare satoshis, you can probably invest in this token if you are obviously convinced that this token has some value and this token has some potential, right? So if you look at the markets where this token is listed, it's listed on Binance, it's listed on OKEX, Huobi Global, and Hotbit and Bilaxy, right? So if you see, Binance and OKEX are some of the biggest exchanges, with the Coinbase listing, this token is definitely going to outperform several mid-cap tokens. And by the end of this bull run, there will be a lot of FOMO buying, and that will push the price. That will push the price up in such a way that by the end of this bull run, you will have a significantly higher price point for this token, right? My guess is going to be $1. I believe that this token has a potential to reach $1, and it could go even beyond that. I have no idea, but there's a high possibility that due to its strong fundamentals and due to how massive this bull run is going to be, this token has a potential to even reach $1. But that's just my prediction. Again, don't take this as financial advice. Do your own research. Again, please, look at the fundamentals and long-term goals of this project. And I would definitely recommend anyone who wants to invest in this project at this price, because again, it's not going to stay in this price for very long, right? And if you're a long-term hodler, this token is definitely for you to hodl long-term, right? And there will be a lot of DeFi applications for this token coming in, which will make this token much more valuable in the DeFi ecosystem, right? Again, that's just my prediction. Remember guys, you guys are not regular investors, you guys are brutal investors, so stay brutal. So thank you very much for watching my video guys. If you like my video, please click the like button and subscribe for more videos. See you in my next video. Bye.